most of us have started using these social places only and only to showcase the best moments and showcase those things which are tangible, because certificates and awards and all, you can see it, you can witness them, or which are materialistic, like, okay, I got featured here, I got this over there. What is missing over here is the depth of knowledge.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the GB show. Social media, right? Every one of us has put something there as our achievement, learnings, knowledge sharing, and lot of things. But are we thinking that it's impacting our mental health? It's creating an unnecessary pressure on us, or it's unnecessarily putting us in a race which is not going to end, right? All of us has gone through or felt social media in different ways, and we all are perceiving the information on social media like Instagram, LinkedIn in different way, right? How we manage it properly, how we make sure our career, the professional stuff which we are showing on LinkedIn and everywhere else is authentic and have the right impact on the organization and recruitment agencies. Do social media impacting the organization in any way? Is it creating risk, vulnerabilities, or security issues to them? To tackle or talk on this particular topic, I have with me a good friend, Nirali Bhatia. She is cyber psychologist and founder of Cyberbap, an anti-bullying organization. She also works with different and how to manage their life, mental health, and social media effectively. Let's hear her out. हाय निराली, वेलकम टू द जीवी शो.
थैंक यू.
ओके, कैसा लग रहा है शो पे आके?
मस्त. आई लव द स्टूडियो. इट्स रियली ब्यूटिफुली डिजाइंड एंड है, इसकी वाइब मस्त है.
Thank you, and thanks for coming all the way from Khar. And I think last time you hosted me where we shot nearby in Juhu
at the beach, at my house, on the terrace rather, yes, and in your car.
But yeah, last time, for my audience, maybe you will be seeing the link over there. When I did my first podcast, Infosec with Gaurav Batra, Infosec Tales with Gaurav Batra, and we did an amazing shoot with Nirali. We talk about the cyber crimes and a kind of impact it leaves on the victim's mind, and then how those victims can actually taking help of Nirali as a cyber psychologist. So if I talk about that episode, and in last 3 years, I think there is a lot of change in the direction of your professional career as well. You are
not change, but yes, addition
to your direction, professional career, and I think you are now helping organizations, CXOs, looking into risk and vulnerabilities from the social media and in-house as well in the communication, in the incident and lot. So maybe I would like to hear from you what you do for those, or what kind of services you provide to those organizations.
So in terms of corporate work, the areas where I work as a cyber psychologist are primarily 3-4 areas. One being the trainings. So besides the cyber safety awareness trainings, digital parenting trainings, I've also started working on tailor-made or curated drills. These drills are incident response drills, ransomware incident response drill to be very specific, phishing drills, all keeping in mind the human vulnerabilities. So we do assessment of the staff, understanding what are the weak links over here, and accordingly curate those drills. So that trainings is something that I'm doing. Then I also work with the incident response management teams. In terms, if there is an incident, then as a psychologist, it helps to get a behavioral analysis. Also at times the opportunity to negotiate if it's a ransomware attack. And so far I've been lucky. So it's been a great thing. I've got a good result out of it, of buying time, of actually waiving off the ransom fee as well.
Okay, awesome.
And besides this, also social media management in terms of helping them with maintaining their digital footprint and a digital identity which is free of all the misinformation and fake stuff. So these are primarily 3 areas where I work with corporates.
Okay, awesome. And I think cyber psychology to do ransomware negotiation, amazing topic, I guess, and we can talk more in the next podcast, because I will like to stick to the today's topic, and but also something which you have also not mentioned, which where Dipti is from my team is talking about Posh
Oh, yes.
with you, right, which you are getting on board and helping people with that
Yes.
Posh stuff. Amazing. I think a lot of diversity in the portfolio we have, but yeah,
Though all related to humans at the end.
exactly. People we say.
Correct.
In cybersecurity, when we talk about people, process, and technology, so you
People
do a
aspect.
lot of work in people space, right? But let's talk that when we are talking about social media and digital identity for today's word for organizations, right? The social media and LinkedIn, what kind of impact it has left on organization, that how they perceive the information or someone's personal identity or expertise based on social media. I will love to know more from you on that.
See, now social media has become an integral part of everyone's life. So it's no longer an external entertainment factor. Not just personal, but our entire professional identity is shaped up by our social media presence, particularly professional social networks, as they call themselves, like LinkedIn and others, is the space where it has now become our resume, who we are professionally. In the earlier days, if you have to ask or know about somebody who is, at a certain level in their professional journey, the way to know was their resume or their visiting card. But now it is completely substituted by these social profiles and the way we are perceiving it, because social media space or any space in the cyber world is a very, very emotionally triggering space. So there is a lot of good also happening, and there is a lot of negativity also that is coming over there. But the perception is very subjective and very individualistic, because what you perceive is based on how are you feeling and what do you think of it. So the communication is not understood in its totality. The person over there may have added a certain context which is not going to come across. You're going to perceive it in the way you see the context or you feel. So the onus of getting the communication right has become on the viewer compared to the one who is actually saying it. So the pressure is high.
Okay, so I think the pressure on viewers to judge the right information.
Yes.
That is something which that's interesting take from here. But I think today everyone is showcasing all their certificates, achievements, and even
Correct.
small things which you achieve. Even a webinar they are attending, they are putting on the social media. Do that actually help recruitment team, HR, or the corporates that to identify someone's expertise, and maybe for hiring process, will this help actually?
See, it's a double-edged sword. Most of us have started using these social places only and only to showcase the best moments and showcase those things which are tangible, because certificates and awards and all, you can see it, you can witness them, or which are materialistic, like, okay, I got featured here, I got this over there. What is missing over here is the depth of knowledge, the depth of experience. So if your recruitment process is completely relying on what profile you're seeing online, then you're seeing only the highlight reel of someone's life. So you are gonna make a judgment based on their achievements, but not the entire effort behind the achievements. While the talent lies in the process, not in the end result, or not in the, like we say, the journey has to be much more richer than the actual destination. So in short, if I have to say, it is definitely going to help in terms of face value. Because you look at the profile, it has a certain caliber, it has a certain achievement which is showcased, and the response that people have given to it kind of gives you a feedback like, okay, what kind of person am I looking at? But at the same time, you cannot do away with all the homework that you all used to do before the social media existed for recruitment. You're hiring a person and not their online identity. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think most of the time people play different roles. So like on social media, they are a different person, but in actual, the expertise are totally different. And because of that, is it actually impacting the organizations or the communities because of that? Maybe any take on that?
It certainly is, because if we take people on their social media personas and when we meet them in real, if they are not matching, it is a very, very difficult situation. So it's not just applicable on dating sites, it's also applicable in the HR rooms and the recruitment areas, So, like I said, because the onus is on the viewer, so the organization has to now be much more diligent in their process in terms of finding out the actual person behind this and not just what they are seeing online. Because we all will have a different persona that we will build up on in an online space. And a lot of times we have seen that individuals also themselves start believing what they are projecting, missing out the connect with the real self also. So on screen or in your LinkedIn profiles, you have mentioned you worked on XXYZ and so many things. But when the real life situation comes, are you able to perform? That is where the challenges where organizations are facing. Plus, this whole pressure of competition. So if you see, individuals are not just satisfied with their job roles. If your job role is not offering them that is going to be helping them to post something, you're looking at a challenge over there. So they will create, and that is another area of concern for organizations, that what is going out of their organization in terms of data, in terms of information, and in terms of representation.
Yes, amazing. I think you mentioned something, the dating website and HR. I must say the dating website, the right and left must be, coming from the HR itself, because HRs are doing it from the ages by seeing the resume left or right for the things, and now they are doing it from the social media profiles for the applicable candidates. But for the future generation, the professionals which are coming in, how you envision the future generation of professionals are getting influenced by this social media culture?
So it's a fact that yes, not just the future generation, even our current and if even a little past generation, all of us are today impacted severely with this prevailing social media culture. This entire social media culture is bringing in where there is something good also, but there is a lot of things which are we as individuals are not prepared for, in terms of the persistent competition that comes up, and the pressure of being perfect, the pressure of having every day some content to put it up across, So now what do you expect from a job? Your motivations for your career, your expectations from your career, all these are changing, all these are being challenged by the social media culture that is growing. People have become extremely impatient. We all are looking for that one viral reel, one viral achievement, which is going to give us overnight success. So the idea of working for 30 years to get your first TEDx talk is no longer acceptable, or younger generation or the future generation cannot even envision it. Like, I have personally got young students writing to me, ma'am, can you guide us? How can we have our TEDx talk? And all I could answer is like, okay, fine, wait for 25 years. You will also get a call one day. But these are some of the challenges which are shaping up faulty expectations, and they're taking away the significance of experience, the significance of patience, significance of having confidence in your work. And it is getting focused on the result. No matter what you do, if the result is not good, you're a failure, which is a completely lopsided thought process.
Fair enough. And I think I have seen that where with the young generation, it's coming at the titles like 25 under 25, 30
Correct.
under 30,
Correct.
and even they don't have experience, but still they are coming up with those small achievements or small things which are going viral immediately, and then they are becoming influencer, and the other people will start feeling that, okay, I'm not that great, I'm not that good, and about the followers.
Yes.
And one I have seen, or we have observed on social media, that everyone is putting up about the good things about them, right?
Correct.
And
Like I always say, the highlight reel.
हाँ, तो अर्लियर क्या होता था, पीपल यूज्ड टू से कि उसकी वाइफ अच्छी है, अभी आजकल होता है उसकी जॉब अच्छी है, राइट? द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, so people are looking into LinkedIn and they are feeling like where I am stuck. This is not the organization I should be working in. I should be going and work in that. But inside both the organizations are same. But how you are putting it on the social media, even the like for Cyberfrat, even I try to highlight that how good the team and work which we are doing, and even all other organizations people do. So is it actually impacting negatively from the organization perspective, and what an organization can do about it? Let's say if I am worrying about for my operations team or sales team, looking into the other operations team or sales team of my competitors, and they feel like they are doing good, I should go and work there. So what I can do about it?
True. So like you said, we all feel that the other is better.
Yeah.
So this is an age-old phenomena where we all feel that the grass is greener on other side. But what has changed is that the grass used to be very far. Now I see grass right on my screen and multiple places where I see grass. So I start believing that it is actually greener on the other side. And hence, we always feel that the moment you open your LinkedIn, you will see people's achievements coming. The first thought that comes to your mind is, oh my God, the world is moving ahead, everybody is successful, and only I am the one who's either stuck behind or a loser or a failure. But if you actually analyze this, it's a completely faulty thought process, right? But then this is where we have moved. Now, even in terms of organization, like you said, that you're also showcasing what you're doing for your team and how are you doing. So if you ask me that is it good, is it going to harm me? I would like to say that it is about balance. If you're not pushing it really too hard, if you're not hard playing it that no, I have to showcase them to be good. If you're being your natural self, which I know that Cyberfrat is one of the coolest places, so I won't doubt that for sure. But you will see there are a lot of organizations who actually just create it as a bubble over there. So if it does not match your reality, it is going to cause a problem for you. Also, it's not required that you have a great working place all the time, right? It's not possible. We all will have, when we have targets, when we have work pressure, that same rosy and wonderful place might feel really pressurizing to us and not so cool place also. So it is always going to be situational. So as an organization, that should not be the criteria that that I have to constantly strive to be the best working place, because it's very subjective. It will depend on what your team is also expecting from organization. So as long as you're your natural self, you're providing with all the basics that are required and plus a little more, which again I will agree that Cyberfrat does not plus, but plus.
So we try that even before it goes on my social media page, like if the people feel like to post it, they do. And then later I do at the end.
But in this space, also having a good social media policy on an organization's part is extremely important, where your employees need to know where they need to draw a line. When does it become a professional impact and when is it personal impact? Because see, we all are going to have one social media account, right? So what you're posting over there is a very likely chance it can impact your professional image, and it could also impact organization's image. So awareness on this is required, and we need to require good policies that we can draft and keep that this is the code of conduct that we use for social media. We can't say that, oh, you can't use it. Now, that option is no longer there.
So if I talk about policies, because you mentioned, so what are the major 3 things corporate should cover in that? Maybe anything you would like to highlight on that?
So number 1, we need to emphasize on the incident response action. That is the end. I'm starting from the end. That they should know what needs to be done and how. What are the what kind of penalty is there? So that is number. Second is where we come up backwards, is in terms of what's the process, what is going to be the entire process of if there is some kind of, so we have a checklist that this is what you can post, this is what you cannot post, this is what it should communicate, this is what it should not communicate. So a very clear checklist that what you're putting online, it should communicate. If these are the things that it is communicating, it is fine. But if it crosses this, so they know where to draw that line. And number one is where we put down positive rules and attributes, where we actually encourage them that you must post this. At the end, the objective should be that we are not constraining them or imposing on them anything, because posting online is now become a natural phenomena. We are just giving them a direction that while you are employed with us, these are under our policies, these are the kind of contents that you can apply. I mean, you can post online.
Okay.
So you mention over there a list of things where if you're participating, then this is how. So give with examples so that people have clarity.
Okay.
So it has to be very simple. It cannot be a legal document or something, because then it loses its significance if people can't relate to it.
Yep, and I think when we talk about this social media policy, it also deals with the cybersecurity risk and vulnerabilities to the organization, right? But if I ask you what kind of risks you have seen an organization may have because of social media, and what are the best practices they should follow to navigate through this?
So most common is defamation, then misinterpretation of the reputation. Sometimes it is also directly maligning. We've also seen cases where disgruntled employees, because the policies should also cover them, that after you have left our organization or have been asked to leave or something, what is that is acceptable and what is that is not acceptable. Okay. So in terms of risk to the organization, of course, the image and like I said, reputation. Then there is also data. Sometimes, see, social media is a very emotional space. Let's say if I've made an achievement at a work and my nature of work is dealing with sensitive data, in that whole excitement, what if I end up posting something which is very, very sensitive in terms of, it was not supposed to be online or something. So data breach, I won't call it a word breach, but I would say that data exposure is another form of risk that we can see. In terms of disgruntled employees, then or the whistleblowers, then there is actually the data leak that is happening. And thirdly, we can also see in terms of, so this is in context of POSH then. The behavior online is also governed under POSH policies. Okay. It will also impact. So suppose if it is between two employees of the same organization, or employee and a vendor of the organization, it's not necessary that in person there has been an inappropriate behavior, but if you've done an inappropriate comment online or endorsed something which is going to impact the organization's reputation and violate the POSH policy. So these are certain risks that we are looking at.
Okay, I think interesting. Quite a lot of things as an organization which I'm getting today. I need to start thinking, because I never draft a social media policy, and I'm generally encouraging my team to go and post about what they should or what should not. I think a good information.
See, that also brings me to one more question, that our policy or other point should also make it very clear whose IP it will be. If your team is posting something from the organization during the employment, after the employment, whose IP it becomes, right? Because if we do not take care of these are the future challenges that we can face. So we need to have clarity on these certain things, very particularly where a nature of business is like what Cyberfrats is, where we really need and we would love to encourage a young team to come up with very interesting ideas, creative ways to engage, because the audience they engage is much better than your and my generation people can do it as such. But at the same time, having that clarity can save us from any form of future challenges that could come across our way.
Good thought for food, I think. Food for thought, or what we call it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
food for thought it is.
Yes. I think awesome. It was really. I have a follow-up question on the previous conversation which we were having, where we were talking about everyone is putting their social media achievements on the social media. Correct. And because we have seen even cybersecurity, or say bug bounty, or where people see, so their research work, whenever they achieve something, they are putting on social media that this is something I achieve. And for years, if they have not achieving anything, they are not highlighting that it took me 3 years, or 3 years I was struggling, right? So that create an unnecessarily pressure on someone's
True.
mind, and they also feel like, okay, because I'll tell you, the people who are achieving compared to the people who are struggling is very less, okay. And but we just see those achievements, and people are
Absolutely.
getting that pressure.
Absolutely.
So how someone can actually handle that pressure? Because I think you are helping many people so if I will not ask you this, this podcast can't be end, right? So
Right.
how people are handling that pressure and making sure their career or the things which they have on social media is authentic and their expertise are highlighted in the professional and proper manner.
True. See, it's actually $1 million question. Many of us, and I mean, I can also say that at times even I have felt that oh my God, it's the smallest thing, and people are putting it up. So what are they trying to communicate from that? And that puts on pressure on us. Here, somebody is having every day some achievement. And I'm being for so many years in the industry, I also can't produce every day an achievement. So that pressure definitely comes on to us. But how to handle it in a right way, I think balance is the key. If we understand that social media is not the only place where I can be successful. If we understand this, then we realize that we can very easily bring in that balance. Yes. Problem has come where, because online people don't read. We only scan through.
Yeah.
So what we'll scan the words happy or proud to achieve this, but we don't read the full thing. It might just be that, okay, in like I put, okay, it's a quote in a newspaper, but I get people congratulating me and I don't understand what's the big deal. It's just a small quote, right? So that is what is creating problem. And now they feel that, oh, you're coming in the media, that's such a big achievement, even we would want to come. But they don't see that that is backed by experience, that is backed by knowledge. So I think if we want to start it collectively, we as an industry can do it, where we start posting about the entire journey and not just the end result. And let's make sure that we post only the relevant certificates or relevant awards which are milestones. It's now become too trivial to put up every little thing. Like, yes, I will also put that I came over here for an interview, but to me this is a milestone where I'm having an exclusive interview, where I'm talking something which is going to add value to a lot of people who are going to listen to it. So identifying this as individuals can keep it more authentic, and being true to ourselves and keeping that balance, that it cannot just be a certificate. Let me also put that what did I work for, and to get that certificate.
नहीं वो the one which you said about that webinars and all, I'll just say वो मेरे साथ भी हुआ है. I just put something on LinkedIn saying that this is an amazing webinar I have attended, right? Nothing, I have not done anything.
Correct.
I just
You
attended
attended
and I like it, and I posted that this is what was covered, and I really like it. People started, oh, congratulations, that's big achievement.
Yes.
Man, पढ़ तो लो.
True.
Right? They feel like, okay, कुछ डाला है तो achievement ही होगी, because that is now is in our mind that on LinkedIn, if someone is going, out of 100, 99 posts are about achievements.
Yes.
And if you are doing knowledge sharing, people are not reading, people are just thinking कि कुछ तो achieve ही किया होगा. Congratulations.
True.
And by default, LinkedIn gives you those
already
few
options, the
parameters.
prompts that it gives
you
us.
just
Yes.
click and
So
move
see,
on.
that is where we have a problem with the social media also.
Yeah.
What is that they are trying to promote? In short, they are doing this for business. They want more and more engagement over there. So they are trying to make it as easy as possible. But at the end, दिमाग हमारे पास है. वो कोई AI नहीं ले सकता है, right? तो we have to decide कि मैं इसको किस तरह से glamorize करूँ.
Nice.
But अब यही हो गया है कि because everyone wants to become celebrities and successful and want to have a fan following, भले वो bots ही क्यों नहीं हो, हम हर चीज को ग्लैमराइज कर देते
सबको
हैं.
चाहिए. But anyways, maybe Nirali, you have worked with different people, industries. Any case study without even taking the name of anyone, but where you
Yes.
think the common sense would have avoided that? And any good case studies?
So two case studies that I would like to share over here. One is not related to your question, but I'm still going to share it because it's very relevant to the conversation that we are having. I had a client who, I would say a youth, early 30s. He was very excited about getting a new job. I mean, he was moving to a better organization with a better package and a better position. So his previous organization had arranged a farewell party for him. Now, we all understand that no party is complete without the pictures going online, right? So, as a gesture, his friends over there had created a wall of fame for him in which they digged out all the information from his social media profile, all the funny things, and they made a very comedy wall where it were his childhood pictures where he was dressed like a girl in a fancy dress, or in a very small baby when he was, his parents had put his first bathtub ride, and then it was his nickname and some, which was not what he was very okay about as his professional identity. But social media gives out everything. So it was a farewell party. They did it, they enjoyed, they had good laugh, and party pictures went online. Now 3 days later, when he joins new organization, there is a welcome wall ready with the party pictures. People across are inviting him and addressing him with his nickname, which he's not proud of. It became extremely embarrassing for him. Of course, he did not mention it over there, but next day when he came to me, and he actually came for this, he's like, I'm not able to understand. I'm feeling like the whole world is looking at me and laughing. Wherever I go, people are looking at me. I feel that, they all are seeing those pictures. And his main concern was that when I'm joining a new organization, I want to build my image over there. Now my image is already set. That this is what, so I have a double struggle of first breaking that and now building up a new image. So this is what people can go through. All was done in good faith, in good humor, but how it can impact somebody, this is a very classic example. A lot of us may not voice it, and we may be lucky and we may forget these incidents, but some of us are sensitive, and it takes a lot for them to come get over it. And he actually did not take up the job because he could not do it. It was like, it was too embarrassing for me. So that is one case. The other one is where there was an organization, it's an agency actually, very reputed and renowned. They a senior next to the director level person, he was being maligned and accused of inappropriate behavior on LinkedIn by an intern who was working with him 6-7 years ago. And she was writing to all the clients of the company and marking him, and not just on LinkedIn, on multiple other social media platforms. Like I said, the onus is always going to be on the viewer, right? So everyone starts questioning. And now you can imagine somebody who's been in that organization for 25 years has to sit and prove the intent. So like I said, it's a very, very thin or a very double-edged sword, how it can impact. These organizations did not have a social media policy back then. So they, of course, in that case, they had approached, I had to mediate, we, spoke to the girl who was addressing it. And if I have to tell you, the intent was simply to get attention of that person because she was not getting job anywhere else and she wanted to get back. So multiple such I can go on in terms of, pressure. Senior level is facing today a lot of pressure in terms of, because their achievements are in the non-social media era. Now, if they're putting backdated achievements, they are not happy about it. And after a certain level, you cannot cope up with the newer generation who makes every little thing as an achievement. So that pressure, continuous judgment of what you are doing, how are you behaving, how do we perceive. At an employee level, imagine you can't post your party pictures because you have told your boss that, well, my mom's not well and I'm taking a leave and you're chilling in Goa. Right? So while these things sound very funny, but these are the day-to-day things that a lot of people go through. And that's where, some of them who cannot handle, they come to us. We help them through therapy in terms of how to manage it. Even young students who are applying to universities, the digital footprints that they have created are really becoming concerns. Universities are writing back, we don't see appropriate conduct. You end up giving your views which are very extreme, or religious content or something that can cause
So you advise to have 2 social media accounts? Or you
No,
advocate that
I would
policy?
always suggest that have one social media account, but have a profile which is more meaningful. Entertainment you can have, you have it in your close circles. You don't have to put it out there on your walls and social profiles, right? Take your social media profiles as hoardings. आप होर्डिंग पे वही लगाओ जो आपको बेचना है, right? It's as simple as that.
Okay.
So if you keep 2, देखो behavioral analysts हैं, investigators हैं, they will dig out 2, and the question will come, why do you have 2 profiles unless you can justify. So a lot of influencers who are having some product, some service to sell, they do have 2 accounts. Personal is very personal. Those are then closed accounts.
That's the private accounts which
yes,
people don't
which
follow.
is only
One is
meant
public.
for. I would also say, why have the pressure of maintaining 2? You can stick to 1, but make it meaningful, because private pictures should any which ways be private.
Yes, and your mobile phone only.
Yes.
Fair enough. I think I had an amazing talk with you, Nirali, and my audience must be loving this episode and getting a lot of takeaways out of it. But my show will not end unless I will make you direct with my audience. Okay. So here, all those young professionals, or maybe the oldies as well, when they are on social media, what kind of best practices you will like to tell them? Because what we have talked about the case studies, but what are the steps they should take, or the best practices they should take so that the social media should not impact their professional career?
Right.
So here you go.
Yes. So very quickly, a couple of pointers. Number 1, remember, it's just a social media. It does not define yourself. You know yourself better, so balance it with your real identity and professional identity. Keep a very good distinction in it. Number 2, the pressure nobody can give you unless you take it. So again, remember that it's only social media. Do not get pressured by what other people are putting. It's only a highlight reel. That means only the best moments, not the efforts. If Sachin cannot get century in all matches that he plays, so can we? Not really. So that is what you should always remember. Number 3, before you interact, before you react, before you post anything, just take a pause. Practice that pause. Go through your content. Verify it on certain points. Is it meaningful? Is it adding value? Is it something you're going to be proud looking at even after a few years? If it fulfills that criteria, please go ahead and post it. And if you feel you're a sensitive person, keep off the comments. Let the likes come, let the hearts come, get happy with that, but don't evaluate your effort with the outcome. As our Gita says, karam kar, phal ki ichha mat rakh. And lastly, in this entirely digitally competitive world, it is very important for all of us to understand and identify the impact on our mental health. Mental health is something which is invisible. So you can't see a punch on my face to know that, okay, I'm hurting. And hence, make sure, like you have regular checkups for physical health, please have regular checkups for mental health as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Nirali. I think amazing information, and I am really happy or feeling great to have you on my show. Thank you. I think you are the person with whom I can do 50 podcasts, right? So you have so much of content. We can talk on different topics, and I will love to have you back again and again.
As long as I'm coming to the studio, I will be more than happy.
Definitely. Thank you. And here we go. So thank you, Nirali, for being on the show, and this is a small token of appreciation for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I will see you next episode, next Friday. Till then, be cyber safe. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.